These last couple months, I've been really dialing into my future. I recently got engaged, and I've been taking extra classes to try to graduate earlier to try and be done with school before I get married. And I've also been picking up more shifts at my job to make some more money. So doing all that made me take a massive hit on my social life. When I get home, I'd have time to maybe play video games for a little bit and talk to some friends in a Discord call for a couple hours if I'm lucky, but in terms of going out with friends, I haven't been doing that much at all lately. I've been so preoccupied with myself and making sure I'm taken care of in the future that I haven't been able to really enjoy the present. And in life, you gotta find the healthy mix of both, right? You need to set yourself up for success in the future, but you also need to do it in a manner that is healthy and you don't lose yourself in your work and your grind. And that was especially hard because with the weird work schedule that I had and with school in the mix, when I would be free, all of my friends would be busy with their own work or their own schooling and stuff. And I was torn on how to move forward because I knew I was entering a season of loneliness. Not so much in the sense where I had nobody, but I just knew it was going to be a while until I would see my friends again, and I just had to do life alone for a while. And I obviously had my fiance, and we'd go on dates, and we'd spend time and see each other when we found the time, but I'm talking about friends here, like having spontaneous hangouts, like going to the movies, grabbing dinners together, going on outings around town, stuff like that. And one thing that I keep trying to tell myself as I get older is no matter how busy life gets, no matter how many responsibilities I take on, I don't want to lose the lifestyle that I have now. But this season I was in of not having a lot of friends around, it made that difficult. Because I don't know about you, but I have really bad social anxiety. Like I am really introverted in social settings. Unless I have a friend there that I can bounce energy off of and have good banter with, I'm more than likely just gonna be physically present, but that's about it. I'll just be an orbiter, okay? Like I don't normally chat or contribute to the conversation if I don't know anyone there. And that's something I know I need to work on, but I'll worry about that later. But yeah, I would feel just really awkward when I'm doing things out in public alone. With some things, I'm fine though, right? Like running errands, I mainly do alone. Like that's one thing because I'm usually in and out of wherever I'm going. But social settings, like parties and stuff like that, I really try to avoid being there alone because I just get uncomfortable. I feel like I'm being watched, like I feel embarrassed that everyone has their friends with them there and I'm just alone. Like I don't know why, but I used to think like that. Like I said before though, I really didn't want to lose myself to my responsibilities. So I had to make a change within myself in order to maintain that lifestyle as close as I can. I had to learn to do a lot of things I'd like to do with friends by myself. I remember the first time I went to a movie theater alone and I was so uncomfortable because again, everyone in the theater was there with their friend group. There were couples there cuddling and I was just sitting in the middle of the aisle by myself. But after like 30 minutes into the movie, I honestly forgot what movie it was, but it got to the point where I eventually just got so invested in the movie that I forgot that I was even alone. And when I got up after the movie ended, as I was walking to my car, it just hit like, oh, that genuinely wasn't that bad at all. And I actually liked it. And it was like that for a lot of the new quote unquote first times that I had. The first time I ate out alone, I went to like Chipotle and normally I would eat in my car, but it would always be uncomfortable or kind of messy. So I sat inside and it was just fine. And doing things alone, I found the importance of enjoying your own company. I recommend whoever's watching this to just give it a try. Just go out and do an activity by yourself at least once. Because to kind of call back to another commentary I made about life and how it's not as deep as we make it, just knowing that generally nobody who doesn't already know you cares about what you do. Me thinking that people are looking at me weird for being completely alone in public is just stupid. These people have their own lives, their own problems, their own stuff going on. Why would they waste their time focusing on me and giving attention to someone they don't even know? Knowing that nobody cared about what I was doing made it easier to do things alone because it truly sunk in that I'm only doing this for me, not for anyone else. The only person that is growing from this is me. And learning to be happy on your own and being satisfied by yourself helps you when you do eventually hang out and socialize. You'll end up being more confident in yourself. I mean, you've learned that you don't need to change up who you are depending on your setting. You'll be so confident that you can just be yourself. What other people think doesn't matter. Because there are people that befriend someone because they have some ulterior motive. They either see them as a friend because they know they can get something from them, or they just see them as entertainment. They don't really care about them as a person. They're just going to use them for their own satisfaction. But you are going to be so secure with yourself that you know what you bring to the table. And you know that they're not just your friend for any other reason than you simply being who you are. Because at the end of the day, you now understand that you don't need people to be happy. Of course, it's great to have friends. I'm not saying you don't need to have friends at all, but you now know not to live for other people and just do what makes you happy, because when the party's over and you drive back home and you're back in your room, you are not gonna have friends there with you. It's just you. This life that you live is yours and yours alone. It sounds obvious, but some people genuinely don't see value in themselves unless it's validated by others. And it doesn't need to be that way. Do things by yourself. Just rip the band-aid off if you have that social anxiety like I do. Go get food on your own. Even if when you sit down you have to pull out your phone to watch YouTube while you eat, just do it. I promise you it doesn't feel that bad, and it's honestly kind of nice. One thing that I do recommend everyone to do is go see a movie at the theater by yourself at least once. Unironically, it's been so good just wanting to see a movie and not being held back because my friends couldn't make it. But yeah, just learn to enjoy your own company. Because again, learning to do that doesn't affect anyone around you. It'll only be something that you are going to feel and experience. And it's something that will only make you grow as a person. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you take care and be well.